If one day you fly to Paris, ride the subway in Tokyo, or stroll in California. Hey, finish your bowl of pho. That familiar sound echoing in the heart of a foreign country is the moment you realize. Vietnamese, a language seemingly tied only to the S-shaped land of Vietnam, is actually present all over the world. But specifically, how widespread is Vietnamese? Where does it rank in global language ranking? And why is a language spoken by just over 100 million people intrigue the world so much? As of 2025, Vietnam has approximately over 100 million people, and most use Vietnamese as their primary language. If we include the overseas Vietnamese community, estimated at about 6 million people living in over 100 countries, then there are roughly 106 million people worldwide who can speak Vietnamese, albeit at varying levels, from fluent to just a smattering. Not to mention a small number of foreigners who speak Vietnamese as their native language, such as some Laotians. This number places Vietnamese in the top 20 most spoken languages on the planet, according to many international rankings. Some rankings place Vietnamese at 16, right after Turkish and before Italian. Impressive. Vietnam is not a very large country but is unified in language. Few countries with 100 million people have almost everyone speaking the same language, without branches of a second official language like Vietnam. In terms of speaker numbers and international influence, Vietnamese far surpasses many languages. For example, Thai has about 70 million users, Khmer around 20 million, Lao less than 10 million. While Vietnamese has over 100 million, along with strong expatriate communities in the US, France, Germany, Japan, Australia, South Korea. Interestingly, Vietnamese has high adaptability. In the US, millions of Vietnamese speak a Vietnamese mixed with English. Mom, I. In France, there's a Vietnamese blended with French. They speak Vietnamese but insert a few French words due to not being fluent in Vietnamese. It's the same in Germany. Although prone to mixing, Vietnamese remains vibrant, and even in Vietnam, people mix in a few English words to sound novel. Vietnamese has permeated every market, restaurant, and classroom. In the US, Vietnamese is now the fifth most common language, after English, first Spanish, second Chinese, third, and Tagalog, Philippines, fourth. In California alone, Vietnamese is officially taught in public schools, with hundreds of thousands of students enrolled each year. In Japan, where there are over 500,000 Vietnamese, science and industrial areas now include Vietnamese alongside Japanese and English. And sadly, some supermarkets even dare to post warnings in Vietnamese about that. In South Korea, Vietnamese is also starting to appear in universities due to a large number of Vietnamese brides and workers. In other words, Vietnamese is going global with a Vietnamese diaspora. Every overseas Vietnamese, whether opening a pho restaurant, a nail salon, or a weekend Vietnamese class, is naturally exporting the language without any strategy. Storms and tempests are no match for Vietnamese grammar. So is Vietnamese the hardest language in Southeast Asia or the world? Very difficult. Indeed, Vietnamese belongs to the monosyllabic language group with 6 tones, i.e., that, and just one wrong tone changes the meaning. For example, ma, 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 are all different. Read as. In the past, Vietnamese grammar was completely inverted compared to English. A red calm. Mo chiếc gì mau do. Mind-bending. But that very difficulty makes Vietnamese unique and rich in nuance. A breeze whispers under a clear moon. Stop dreaming already. Vietnamese music thus has its own rhythm. The sky today is extremely cloudy. The structure of Vietnamese also has its own charm, like the ability for wordplay. I am searching for myself, wondering if anyone eats lunch, goes to work as if going out for fun, or gains nothing at all. Such expressions are difficult to fully translate into English. Nowadays, Vietnamese is no longer confined to the territory of Vietnam. In many countries, it has become popular, appearing in mainstream textbooks, even recognized as the official language of some minority communities. This is an important step forward, as not many single national languages are used in only one country. It has such a powerful spread. In the United States, Vietnamese is officially taught in the public school systems of many states like California, Texas, Washington, and Virginia. California alone has included Vietnamese in its bilingual program from elementary to high school. There is even a high school graduation exam. Some major universities such as the University of California and others, they all have a Vietnamese language faculty or department for some. In particular, as mentioned, Vietnamese is the fifth most common language in the vast United States, and also very diverse. In Australia, Vietnamese is also an official subject in the National Graduation Examination. It means students can choose Vietnamese to calculate their Monash University, Peking University, and the University of Sydney all have Vietnamese language. There is even a department specializing in France, home to the oldest Vietnamese community in Europe. Vietnamese is taught at a university in Paris. This is one of the major language centers in the world, on par with other centers. Since the mid-20th century, Vietnamese has been taught here as part of the Oriental Studies program. And to this day, it still attracts many French students to study Indo-Chinese culture. South Korea is also a bright spot, with many major universities having Vietnamese language or Vietnamese studies departments. Friends abroad can verify this, because this is all information available on the internet. Not only because of the economy, but also because of the special relationship between Vietnam and South Korea, with over 250,000 Vietnamese brides and workers living here. Vietnamese has now become the second priority foreign language in some schools in South Korea, only after Chinese or Japanese. In Japan, the presence of Vietnamese has also increased significantly, with over 40 universities offering Vietnamese, with over 500,000 Vietnamese people living and working in Japan. Many industrial zones have started to hang more signs of Vietnamese. Additionally, Singapore, Germany, Canada, the United Kingdom, and Poland all have Vietnamese at the University or Language Institute, mainly serving regional studies in the local Vietnamese community. Currently, Vietnam is the only country in the world that uses it as the sole official language of the national. However, in some other countries, Vietnamese has been recognized as the official language of the local community. It means it is permitted for use in schools, courts, or administrative documents of the region. Specifically, in the Czech Republic, where the Vietnamese are recognized as an ethnic, Vietnamese has been officially recognized by the government as a legally protected minority language. This means that Vietnamese people in the Czech Republic have a right to learn their mother tongue and use Vietnamese in official community activities. In Poland, Vietnamese is also recognized at a similar level due to the Vietnamese. Warsaw is very crowded, with its own schools, newspapers, and media channels. Similarly in Slovakia. So what will the future of Vietnamese be like? At this rate, it's forecasted that by 2050, there could be approximately 130 million Vietnamese speakers worldwide. The reason is Vietnam's population is still growing. The overseas Vietnamese and many foreigners are starting to learn Vietnamese for economic reasons, meaning doing business with Vietnam, tourism reasons, meaning coming to Vietnam to visit, or emotional reasons, learning Vietnamese. Seeing that Vietnam has too many handsome boys and beautiful. In South Korea alone, over 10,000 people register to learn Vietnamese each. In Japan, over 40 universities offer Vietnamese. In the US, many students have chosen Vietnamese because it sounds pleasant and is useful when working with the Vietnamese community. When Vietnam becomes the new manufacturing center of the world, the factories from Foxconn and Vietnamese becomes even more valuable. Similar to how Korea exploded like K-pop or Japanese spread like anime, Vietnamese is also quietly being exported through cuisine, tourism, music, and even social media. Thank you for your interest in following this story. If you found it interesting, you can press the subscribe button for the Hidden Ledger channel. And now, please don't say goodbye. Farewell. Subscribe to the Gian Nigo channel so you know his exciting videos. Subscribe to the Gian Nigo channel so you know his exciting videos. Subscribe to the Gia Nigo channel so you don't visit site videos. Thank you for accompanying Haitan Story. Thank you for accompanying Haitan Story. Traveling through lands. Discovering new things. Traveling through lands. Discovering new things. Discovering new things. Don't hesitate, please leave your feedback. And please gently press like.